Hi, welcome back. Today I'm going to go over my method and my gear that I bring to all of my weddings. Now, if you're new here, my name is Elizabeth Wanzi. I am the owner of Elizabeth Wanzi Photography. I've been shooting for about 7 years, and I also own a coaching education business, online courses, all the things for wedding photographers. If you want more information about that, you can access the link below. Before we get started, give me a like, hit that like button, and feel free to follow for more tips and tricks for your photography business. So the way that I shoot, I found over the years, is typically pretty different than the way that I've seen a lot of other wedding photographers shoot. And my whole idea about photographing a wedding is I don't want to focus on changing my gear out all the time. That's not the way that I shoot. And so I really prefer to have as little as possible with me so that I can focus on the art of the photography, and I'm not like switching out a lens to get this shot and then switching out a lens to get this shot. I just find that distracts from me really composing my shots better and really telling and thinking about the person's story and how I can tell it through the emotions and the posing and the landscape and just all of that. I would rather be thinking about those things than switching out my lenses and all this like various equipment to get certain shots, if that makes sense. So my method of shooting is simple is better, so that I can tell the story and so that I can take time and learn how to compose my shots better. I'm very much one of those photographers who isn't like, yeah, go, and I'm just like shooting every second. I like to take my time. I like to compose the shot. I like to give them direction for natural poses and take pictures of that emotion, okay? So I just wanted to preface with saying that. Also, no way is right, no way is wrong. I'm just giving you what I do specifically, how I get my shots, and what works for me and what I prefer. So the first thing that I bring to all of my weddings is I always have 2 camera bodies at all times. And this is because I like to have 2 on each, or 1 on each shoulder. I don't actually use I don't even know what it's called. It's like the leather thing that you see wedding photographers use, where they attach both of them. It's kind of like a harness. I actually hate those. I've tried those. And so I'm very old school. I just have like my Canons. I have each strap on each shoulder. And on one, so I have my Mark III, which is actually what I'm filming on, so I'm not going to show you that. And then I have my Canon Mark IV. Okay, so the reason that I bring 2 is because I like to have access to 2 lenses simultaneously. So on one camera, I'll have my 35, which again is what I am filming this video on, so I'm not going to show you that. And then on this camera, I'll have my 85, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So the way that I like to shoot is I shoot primarily on my 85. I just like the way that the pictures come up and they just photograph so much differently than any other lens, especially for portraits. So I would say I shoot probably like 85 to 90% of weddings on my 85 on this camera. And then any wide angles I need, so any wide angles of say like the entire ceremony, or maybe I just want to get a really beautiful wide shot if there's like a beautiful landscape that people are getting married at and I really want to feature the entire thing. Like I recently did a wedding at Palm Springs, and it was just on this cliffside and everything was amazing and gorgeous. And I knew I wanted to not have a super tight shot for that. I wanted to really feature the landscape around the couple. That's when I pulled out my 35 and got some of those as well. So 2 camera bodies. And then another reason to have that is if one dies, and it has happened for some reason, and it's just not working during the wedding day, then I have my other camera body. We can still go, we can still get pictures, and we're good to go. So I always have a backup. So I want to talk about my 85 for a little bit because it is just like the most beautiful camera lens of all time. The 85 takes pictures like nothing I've ever seen. It's just so different. The this is what I take, like I said, like 90% of my wedding on. I love this so much that before I go to reach for my 35, I will back up like across a football field if I have to see if I can get it on my 85 first. Now, if I've sat there and tried to get it on my 85 and it's just not happening, I'll go ahead and like scoot up and get it on my 35. But I just love this so much, and this really adds to my style of like that sort of film fine art photography look that, you know, we're really well known for. So highly recommend this. This is actually the first lens that I recommend to everybody when they ask me what lens they should get after they've been doing it for a couple years. Okay, so we can do a whole lens video, but when you're ready to make a significant investment in a lens and you have a Canon, I definitely recommend getting the 85. This is the 1.2, okay? Now I have one more lens that I barely use it. I feel like it was kind of a waste of money. Another video on that. But I do have it because I bought it and I paid thousands of dollars for it, so why not use it? This is the 70-200, the Canon 70-200, and this I will typically only pull out during the ceremony sometimes, and then I will pull it out during speeches. So all of my lenses are prime lenses. Again, I like to kind of move myself around and not use a zoom so much. But with the 70-200, it is really great because if I don't want to be standing in front of like, you know, the wedding party or anybody that attended the wedding while they're giving speeches, I can sit at the back of the room. I can zoom in still and get shots of everybody that's doing their speeches. I can get the bride and groom's reactions. This is fantastic for that. I probably only use this for like 1% of the wedding day. Do you need it? No, but I paid for it, so I use it. Okay, so the 70-200 is right there. So that covers all of my lenses, and that's what I mean by keeping it simple. The majority of the day I have my 85, I have my 35, I shoot 90% on my 85, and like simple, good to go, and you get beautiful clean shots. So please, if you feel like you need to get all of the equipment to have a booming photography business and produce beautiful photos, that's just not true. Don't spend your money there, okay? The next thing I have is I have two of these flashes. These are the Canon Speedlight 600EX2 RTs. I do love these for how simple they are. And I love how simple it is to link them both and just get them fired off. Again, I like simple. I don't like to be fiddling with my equipment. I found that these are the easiest way to go. Now, for most weddings, I will have both of these fired off, but I also like to bring my video light. This thing is like gold, and I think it was like 70 bucks. I love the video light because there's certain situations that happen all the time in weddings at night where I'm not necessarily using my flash, or I don't want to use my flash, and maybe it's the couple wants me to run outside and get a quick shot with them and their friends, and it's like pitch black because it's outside, there's no other lights, so I can quickly grab my video light, bring it with me, and then just make sure that this is shining the way I want it to shine to be able to get the shots. Another thing I like to use it for is I like to get really cool lighting, like say I'm not loving like my 600EX lighting for whatever reason and I have to just make a decision really quickly, I can just grab this video light and then just go in there and shine it on the people and get beautiful photos. This is just a really, really fantastic thing to have on you at all times. You'll find various ways to use it. It's just super awesome. Another reason I like to use it is if people are doing like an exit at night and I want to have the light on them, and maybe I'm using my 600EX for like a backlight. This is really cool where I can have my assistant hold it and I can just be shooting away. It just really gives off a really cool light, and it's inexpensive and you use it a lot more than you think you would. Okay, so I have this. With that being said, I always have 20,000 batteries The batteries are something that are necessary, and a lot of people get like the batteries that you can only use once and then you have to throw them away. I get the rechargeable ones, and I recommend using the rechargeable ones because these are the ones that you are going to be using all of the time. You're gonna go through so many batteries, so why waste the money? Get the rechargeable ones. When you're done with the wedding day, make sure you recharge them, and then you are good to go, okay? The last thing is I always bring my business cards, okay? I believe in using any opportunity to not just serve people, but to add to that customer experience and to network as much as possible. With that being said, I always have my business cards at the ready, just like in my little fanny pack, to hand out to people. Maybe I haven't met someone before, maybe I want to connect with someone later. I ask people for their business cards so I can send them photos that I've gotten for them of the wedding. Just a really fantastic way to always be in the business mindset and network your business. Now, I believe that's it. That goes over everything that I bring to my weddings. I bring my Pelican case as well, which is huge, so I'm not going to show that because I would break my back if I tried to do that. But I just like having a bigger case so that if I decide I want to bring something extra, then I can have it in there. I really like a Pelican case too because it's a hard body. I don't have to worry about any of my equipment breaking. Oh, and the last thing that I wanted to talk about is I do bring my cheetah stands. These are just my lighting stands that I put all of my flashes on. I've been through a bunch of lighting stands. Spend the extra money, get your cheetahs. I definitely think it's worth it. You don't want to go cheap when you are looking for photography equipment. Okay, so my best advice for anybody who's looking for equipment or looking for what they should have to shoot their weddings is you don't have to have a ton of equipment to get beautiful photos. You don't have to have a ton of equipment to make sure that your couples are happy. I would even advise the opposite. Just go with the ones that are tried and true. Go with the ones that you absolutely love and keep it as simple as possible. Now, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Give me a follow if you want some more tips. There's going to be a ton coming as time goes on. So thankful you guys are here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.